Hello and welcome back everyone to the Tank Wars 2 Electric Boogaloo Tournament. I am your host Chromoid, and today we are going to be looking at the first match of the losers bracket, round 1, featuring the 109E Panzer Battalion, submitted by Captain Ironlad, facing off against the Border Patrol by Psychology. We've already seen all these vehicles. Sorry about that. We've already seen all these vehicles. We've seen what they look like. We've seen what they can do. So let's just get right into the fight. Three, two, one, and right away, Border Patrol launching a barrage. Looks like some of the weapons are firing for Panzer Battalion this time. Unfortunately, it's just this one tank and the robot in the back. Uh, Panzer Battalion seems to struggle from a significant amount of, or an overabundance of resource containers that sucks up all the available resources for it, and pretty much, well, leaves not enough for the entire fleet. So you end up with a bunch of vehicles that look great, probably work pretty well, and just don't do anything because they don't have any fuel, they don't have any ammunition, because it's all sucked up by one or two other vehicles. Psychology's Border Patrol are doing the usual Steam thing. Anytime I get too close to them, they make loud thumping noises, so I have to get away from them again. Sending a bunch of missiles and some shots into the Panzer Battalion. Honestly, unless this robot does something pretty incredible with its weapons. Oh no. Little bike got stuck, trampled, and broken apart under the feet of the robot. That's unfortunate. Has a habit of doing that. Basically, as far as I've been able to see, the robot's the only thing that gets any sort of working materials in it. So it can launch missiles. It can use those six crams up on top, but it's pretty much the only really functional device in this entire team. So unless it gets some really good shots in early on, or the Border Patrol pretty much knocks each other out in their haste to destroy their enemies, I don't see this going in favor of the Panzer Battalion. I just don't. And sorry for the janky camera movements. I'm using a mouse pad that has like one of those little wrist rests, and sometimes I have to readjust my hand, and it causes the mouse to jerk. I'm just not really good at controlling the mouse. But, you know, it works. That's another thing the Border Patrol likes to do. They really take the Border Patrol name seriously. They like to get right on the border of the mountains and just kind of roll around the sides of it. Usually not a bad thing. If their opponent gets too close, they might climb all the way to the top and disqualify themselves, though. We've seen that happen before. So yeah, we see this tank here. It does seem to have the ability to shoot. It's aiming the gun, which is more than most of the other team members are doing, including that one tank over there. They've all just kind of rolled down the hill and stayed there. The robot is trying to face its opponents. Not a whole lot of damage being done, though. Unlike the last time that Panzer Battalion fought, there's nothing that's just shredding them apart. It's just it's a bunch of missiles and an occasional cannon shot. See, there goes another mortar shell into the stratosphere. That will come down whenever it pleases, pretty much. And there's another one. Goodbye, cramshell. So Border Patrol is going to climb hills and shoot down. Not a bad strategy. We've seen other entries climb the hills and use it as a height advantage to shoot down over the rough terrain here in the middle. But the big problem with the Border Patrol is that because they use steam engines, they burn through their materials limit very, very fast. Ooh, look at that sick air! And Iqua just leapt over the top of one of its Denels and made a very, very nice landing. Launched some missiles as it lands. But yes, they basically burn through all of their materials because steam engines basically do that. They burn materials. And so all the materials you see in the top right for Border Patrol are just being slowly or quickly siphoned away by the steam engines. And when those run out, the steam engines stop working and Border Patrol will come to a screeching halt. So it really comes down to who can do the most damage before the other one malfunctions. I think at this rate, I think that's kind of what what's going to come down to for these entries. At this point, you know, there's only one really functioning vehicle for Panzer Battalion, so all that the Border Patrol has to do, even if it runs out of materials before it kills a significant amount of them, is just take shots like this. Take shots at the disabled vehicles. They aren't going anywhere. Doesn't even have to destroy them. Just smash them up really good. Remove hit points from its opponent, and at the end of 10 minutes, it'll win. It's a sucky way to win. I mean, it sucks that that's how they have to win, but I mean, that's how this match is going to go. It's just the way that the vehicles were designed and work within the tournament. And it's a real shame, too, because Panzer Battalion is one of the most creative entries, in my opinion. Just very, very unique style, array of different vehicles and functions. Oh no, yeah, one of the motorcycles has already been destroyed. They don't seem to take hits too many. They don't seem to take too many hits very well. The only thing in this entire entry that seems to do well against damage is this robot, and really the only way to I've seen to disable that. Oh no, another turret just popping straight off the top of a motorcycle. The only way I've seen to disable this robot is to cut the legs off, because you can shoot this body for hours and it will not fall apart. It's just heavily reinforced. There's so much metal and armor in the center of it. It's difficult to take out. And of course, shooting in the back seems to work with a high penetration seems to work too, because the cram cannons are all back there and they are highly explosive. So I mean, there's options, but yeah, this is the best way for Border Patrol to guarantee a win. Blow up these tanks. They seem to be rather vulnerable. They seem to blow up very quickly. I mean, there's already damage to the internals. They're beautiful, beautiful designs, but they just don't seem very well armored, except for the front, which I assume they're supposed to keep that heavy armor plating to the front, but they just don't move, so they never get a chance to show what they can do. Oh, you hate to see that. I could be looking more at the Border Patrol, and I probably should be, but I mean, all they're going to do is skitter around. There is a feature on these that I wanted to show, if I can get close enough to see it. No, it's not. Those are mimic springs, by the way. Really, really cool. These entries, at one point, I don't know if they just run out of fuel for it or what, but there are smoke emitters under the wheels that create like this dust cloud effect. Is really, really cool. It makes it look like they're running through a desert sands or something. Yeah, Border Patrol has taken minimal damage. In fact, I think most of that damage to Border Patrol has been from its own, from friendly fire. I've saw a couple instances of them running into each other and breaking blocks, or of stray cannons and missiles hitting friendlies instead of the enemy. But yeah, this is it. I mean, there's just nothing to be done here. It's 5 more minutes of Border Patrol wailing on Panzer Battalion. I mean, I don't want to cut this short, because there is always the odd chance, as long as these cannons are active, that a couple of really good cram shots could disable a significant portion of the Border Patrol. They don't seem very well armored from the top. I've seen them take mortar hits from their last fight before. That seemed to do a lot of work to the top of the vehicles, but you know, that's a very low chance. So you're kind of just banking on that. This is really clever. It's hard to see, but those little forks at the bottom between the second and third wheel, those are on spin blocks, and they only come out when the vehicle... Whoa, I am jittering real bad. They only come out when the vehicle is tilted. So you'll see when they get on the flat ground, those go back up. Those are stabilizers. They're designed to pop out whenever the vehicle is at an angle, so it does not flip over. Kind of like this. But you see here, what's keeping these flipped over is the fact that they ran into each other. I'm pretty sure the self-riding on the sides is trying to come out, and or maybe that's not. Maybe these all have that. I don't know what these are. These are more Denels. Yeah, these all have a self-riding mechanism for some reason. Oh well. I mean, they're not out. There's still hit points that Border Patrol has that Panzer Battalion doesn't. As another 2 motorcycles just explode. And I'm pretty sure we're left with just this Morker, really big, sturdy, heavy armor encrusted, wedge-shaped tank destroyer, and the robot, which we've seen from the last fight it had. The robot, really, really, really tough to destroy. I mean, you can break all the important bits in it. You certainly can. In fact, I think that's what they're about to do. If they can get through the rear armor here, or the side armor, and blow up those guns, that'll be it for the for any effective fire from this robot. Man, from the front, it doesn't. It takes damage very well. It does not break very easily, from what I've seen. At least the last opponent it had couldn't break it very easily. But yeah, all that's left are really the two big hit point containing vehicles for Panzer Battalion. You already see there's some damage done. One of the cannons has been completely disconnected. It's almost completely cored out. Well, you see the Border Patrol has come to a stop. They're all around the edge of the arena here, completely halted. But they still got missiles, even if they don't have cannons, so I mean, they'll just continually plunk into the side of this robot. Not going to be the most exciting fight, I will admit, but you know, it's how things are sometimes. Some entries make great spectacles, others just don't have the performance you expect them to. Cool thing about this community is that when you see stuff like this, the builders are almost always eager to improve after they see how their designs perform, and a lot of people use tournaments like this as a way of improving their builds overall and learning from mistakes, because it's really one of the best proving grounds when you jump into a tournament with about 10 to 12 other people and say, yeah, I'm going to go toe-to-toe with some other builders. And they usually have some of the best ideas. You have people from all around the community. You have people who have built vehicles for, oh, and there you go, see all the blocks in the center? That's all the cannons just blown out of the center of the, out of the back of the robot. But yeah, you have people who have built vehicles for entire campaigns competing in these things. Vehicles that, you know, are very good enough to be included in the actual game itself, you know, as NPC vehicles for the single player mode. So you got all kinds of people. You got newcomers, you got longtime players, and you learn so much from fighting in these. Or at least I do, and I've seen a lot of other people who do too. And of course, it's from the depths. You never know when something is just not going to go properly. Oh, there they go. See, now they're doing the little dust thing. I don't know why they're now just doing it. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, or my computer just wasn't rendering it. Yeah, see, they got that now, but they can't move because they're out of materials and they run on Steam. And yeah, it doesn't work so well. Oh, that was missed. They seem to be bouncing off of this terrain right here. The Morkar's down in this little well, and none of the Border Patrol tanks can reach it since they can't move anymore. They pretty much had enough of this robot. They've left it alone because it's got nothing left in it. No missiles, no crams. So now they're trying in vain to hit this Morkar because it still has a functioning weapon. But as you can see, the missiles just skip over the top of the terrain and miss. And the shells miss. And yeah, this last minute's just going to be them repeatedly missing. So I think we're going to call it there. I know there's a minute left, but obviously the fight has gone to Border Patrol. And with that, Captain Ironlad, I'm afraid you are going to be leaving the tournament. Thank you for participating, and Psychology, congratulations. You're going to be moving on to the second round of the losers bracket. I have been Chromoid, and I'll see you guys next time.